His name was Jackson Colt. He extended his hand, calloused and warm, his grip unshakable. "You look like you need a drink. Or something stronger." I managed a nod, voice caught behind a rising wave of panic, exhaustion, betrayal. His cologne, leather, bergamot, something darker, hit me in waves. Jackson, unlike anyone I'd ever met, exuded that kind of danger wrapped in confidence that made smart people do foolish things. "I'm Daniel," I muttered, taking a seat beside him at the lounge bar. "Stranded? Abandoned?" He smirked. "There's a difference?" I laughed once, short, dry. "Yeah. Stranded means you hope someone's coming. Abandoned means they're not." Jackson ordered us 2 bourbons. "Neat." His voice held power. Authority. The bartender didn't ask for ID, or reason, or payment. We clinked glasses. I drank mine fast. "My wife," I said, the bitterness curdling my tongue, "she left me here. Took the early flight to Italy. With her team." I made air quotes I didn't even realize I was making. He didn't react, but his brow lifted just enough. "Business trip?" he asked. She said it was. But she didn't pack like it was. Lingerie. Heels she hasn't worn for me in years. Perfume I didn't recognize. I stared at my glass, wondering if I could drown inside it. Jackson steadied me, then asked, "What do you do?" "Finance," I replied automatically. "Private accounts." "I do numbers." She does dreams." He tilted his head. "She builds green real estate," I continued, "eco-luxury, smart homes, next-gen whatever. People love it. She's a darling in the scene. Sustainable queen." "She sounds ambitious." "She is. Always has been." My voice broke. "Lately, just not about us." Jackson didn't respond. He just gestured toward the screen above the bar. A delayed flight to Paris blinked in red. "You ever been to Paris?" he asked. "No." He slid his phone across the bar, screen showing 2 first-class tickets. "Come with me." My heart hiccuped. I stared. "Why?" "Because you need to disappear," he said. "Just for a little while. And I hate flying alone. I don't even know you. You know your wife cheated. You know she left you like baggage. You know you've got nothing tying you here except heartbreak and overpriced airport sushi." My hand hovered over his phone. My pulse pounded. Something inside me, something tired of waiting, tired of hurting, tired of being good, reached forward. I touched the screen. "Paris it is," I said. Our arrival at Charles de Gaulle felt unreal. The plane touched down with velvet smoothness, clouds peeling back to reveal a city built from poetry. Jackson leaned over, whispered something I didn't catch, or maybe I just didn't want to. My mind raced, spiraling into new territory I didn't know how to map. We checked into Le Monarque, a boutique hotel tucked between stone alleyways and ivy-covered walls. The suite overlooked the Seine, golden light spilled through the window like honey over marble. 2 glasses shimmered beside a crystal decanter. Jackson poured. He didn't ask if I wanted to talk. He didn't ask if I needed space. He just was, present, undemanding, calm. I drank, heat blossoming in my chest. He removed his jacket, laid it carefully on the chair. I watched his every movement, the way muscles beneath tailored fabric shifted like choreography. "You're different," I said, words soaked in liquor and longing. He turned slowly, eyes meeting mine. "Different from what?" "Everyone." His lips curved slightly. "That a compliment?" "I think it's a warning." He crossed the room in 3 strides. Every inch closing between us made it harder to breathe. "I'm not your wife, Daniel." "I know. She made choices. Let her live with them." "I plan to." "You ready to stop being someone else's afterthought?" "I think I already did." He kissed me. Not soft. Not sweet. Hungry. Every suppressed feeling burst loose: rage, betrayal, lust, loneliness. Our mouths collided, teeth clashed, hands wandered. He gripped my hips, fingers firm, pulling me closer like we'd done this 1,000 times in some other lifetime. We didn't make it to the bed. Shirts torn open. Buttons scattered across the rug. His breath hot against my neck, mine catching on curses I couldn't finish. The air smelled like citrus, musk, and something filthy we made together in that moment. I arched into him. He growled. It was animal. It was beautiful. It was everything I didn't know I wanted. The city outside vanished. Only sensation remained. My back hit the wall, hard. I didn't care. His lips moved lower, exploring every inch like he needed to memorize terrain. My legs wrapped around him instinctively, balance forgotten, shame discarded. This wasn't revenge. This was reclamation. When it ended, we collapsed onto the floor, tangled, breathless, ruined in the best way. Neither of us spoke. We didn't need to. The silence was holy. And in that stillness, I realized something. I had finally been chosen. Even if just for tonight. Sunlight spilled across my bare chest. The sheets were silk. My skin tingled from every place Jackson had touched, bitten, claimed. I sat up slowly, every joint aching with pleasure. On the nightstand, espresso, pain au chocolate, and a handwritten note. Had a call. Handle the meeting. Back by noon. Where the black? J. The black? Then I saw it, an outfit draped over a chair, slim-cut suit, satin tie, and a wristwatch worth more than my car. I laughed. I actually laughed. Last week, I was invisible, gray, dull, dependable. Now? I felt dangerous. And that terrified me. After showering, I stepped into the clothes. They fit perfectly, as if tailored. Slipping into that persona, I barely recognized myself. The mirror reflected someone sharp, new, feral. Jackson's world wasn't built on apologies. It ran on power, timing, dominance. And I was being dragged inside. Downstairs, a sleek car waited. Chauffeur, sunglasses, no questions. He took me to a rooftop restaurant where sharp men discussed billion-dollar deals over champagne. Jackson was already seated, flanked by two women who looked like they belonged on magazine covers, and a man with icy blue eyes. Daniel, Jackson said, standing. Meet Thatcher. My partner. Her boss. I blinked. Her boss? Thatcher? The man who accompanied my wife on business trips? The one I imagined, countless nights, tangled around her body while I stayed home folding laundry? He extended a manicured hand, polite smile hiding something cruel. Pleasure, he said. I took it, squeezing harder than I should have. He didn't flinch. I've heard quite a bit, he continued, voice dripping with meaning. Surprised to see you here. I'm full of surprises. Jackson smirked, clearly enjoying the tension. Champagne flowed. Deals discussed. I sat among wolves wearing custom wool, hiding claws beneath pleasantries. Jackson never left my side, his arm brushing mine beneath the table. Thrill danced beneath my skin every time we touched. Thatcher noticed. He leaned close during dessert, voice low. You came here to get back at her? Maybe I came to find something better. His smirk faded. For the first time, he looked rattled. Good. Afterward, Jackson and I walked through Montmartre, silence charged. We ducked into an old bookshop, the scent of paper and dust wrapping around us like a spell. I picked up a worn volume, fingers trembling. She slept with him, didn't she? I finally asked. Jackson didn't pretend. She did. How long? Too long. My throat tightened. You knew? I watched it happen. I turned sharply. You watched? I own part of the company. He's my partner. That made her, my employee. Air turned thick. You used me to hurt him, I said. No. I used him to get to you. My heart dropped. Why? He stepped closer, eyes softening. Because I saw someone worth ruining for. I should have left. I should have punched him. But when his hand touched mine, fire roared back to life. Paris, betrayal, lust, revenge, it all blurred. There was only this moment. And I didn't want it to end. Paris pulsed beneath twilight. Street lamps glowed amber, cobblestones glistened from earlier rain. I stood on the balcony of our hotel suite, wine swirling in hand, heart thrumming louder than the traffic below. Inside, Jackson hummed softly, scribbling something in a leather journal he never let me read. Everything had changed. I had changed. Across oceans, my wife lived her lie. I no longer waited for answers or closure. The past belonged to her now. Whatever remnants she clung to would never haunt me again. My phone buzzed. Celine. First message since the airport. Where are you? I'm scared. Something's wrong with Thatcher. I stared at it. No anger. No desire to reply. Just a realization I didn't need her pain anymore. I deleted the text, blocked her number, and dropped the device into the Seine later that night without hesitation. Jackson noticed. He didn't ask. Instead, he poured another glass, sat beside me, knee brushing mine. You're quiet. I'm whole. He tilted his head. That sounds final. It is. That evening, he took me someplace sacred, his private studio on Rue des Martyrs. Canvas-lined walls, abstract chaos, emotion splattered in bold, dark streaks. This is what I really do, he admitted, pulling away a cover. There, in the center of the room, stood a portrait. Me. Naked. Vulnerable. Strong. Defiant. Painted from memory. I choked. He approached, lifting my chin. You rebuilt yourself. No one gave that to you. Not even me. Why me? I whispered. Because you didn't come looking for revenge, he said. You stumbled into freedom. We kissed again. This time, it wasn't lust, it was surrender. Weeks passed. Galleries featured his new collection, titled Stranded. I became part of his world, not as a rebound, not as a secret, but as someone chosen, respected, cherished. We traveled. Created. Laughed. Loved. One morning, back at the Seine, he handed me a small box. Inside, a key. Yours, he said. Our space. Our life. No apologies. I took it. Not because I needed saving. Because I had already saved myself. Love didn't rescue me. It found me when I stopped running. And cheating? Cheating didn't ruin everything. It revealed truth. And the truth? I was never hers to begin with. The end.